Welcome to the international launch of the 2013 Global Go-To Think Tank Index. This year, in conjunction with the Global Go-To launch at the World Bank and the United Nations, the Think Tanks and Civil Societies program, the University of Pennsylvania, has created partnerships with intergovernmental organizations, think tanks, and civil society organizations located in global cities and policy hubs around the world. We intend to highlight the leading think tanks in every region, illustrate the important role think tanks play in governments and civil societies around the world, and emphasize the importance of the regional and global efforts to network these important institutions.
Today is very much a day to acknowledge the role of think tanks in Australian debate. At their best, think tanks are an important part of quality policy making, providing the link between government and the wealth of non-government thinking. They can be identifiers of problems. They can be suggestions of new ideas. They can provide a conduit for input into policy in a variety of areas.
Our motto is research that matters, and for a small team, I'd like to think that we punch above our weight. So as our motto suggests, we're very much about contributing to public life, not just having our research gather dust on a shelf. Over the past 20 years, we've been at the forefront of climate change debate. We introduced the term affluenza to Australia. We launched the Genuine Progress Indicator as a substitute for simply measuring GDP. And most recently, we've provided the economic research to challenge the notion that the mining boom is good for everyone. I certainly feel privileged to work at the Australia Institute because it can and it has tangibly influenced public debate, public life, and secured meaningful change to people's lives.
We're very pleased to see our rankings go up this year in terms of the university-based think tanks from 26 to 23. Being at a university presents a challenge. We are not a typical think tank in many ways. We have our teaching requirements, we have our professional requirements for publishing in journals and other avenues. But it's encouraging to see over the last few years that universities are starting to recognise that to justify their public funding, they need much greater public engagement. They need to have their scholars' work being disseminated and passed out to the public. And we're very strongly in favour of this. For this reason, we've created the Centre of Gravity policy series, which tries to look at, in just 2,000 to 3,000 words, important issues in current Australian policy. And these are now freely available on our website, which you can see just beside me. Finally, while it's great to see such a large crowd here today, I think we should acknowledge just how few think tanks there are in Australia. And there's a number of reasons for this, but the reason I raise this is because I think it stresses how much that we do need to think about new ways to collaborate, to work together, to try and pool our resources. These results that we see today are very encouraging and demonstrate how much we can do, but I think we can all achieve a lot higher if we can try and find ways to kind of pool our collective capacity.
As Andrew said, we're a remarkably small country in terms of the numbers of think tanks which we actually have evaluated in this process. We are, as in so many areas of life, lumped into what they refer to as Oceania. I think some 30 think tanks are identified in this area, and it's something significantly less than 1% or 1.5% of the total many thousands of think tanks which the Pennsylvania Index looks at. And on that token, what I would say is actually Australian think tanks do very well, and that, to me, that says something positive about our university system, about the way public policy is made in Australia. My final point is simply to say that one of the pleasant things about the think tank world is that all boats rise on the tide. I think it's fair to say that we have a sort of a friendly and competitive relationship with our fellow think tanks around the country. I will certainly be reminding my friends at Lowy that we're higher on the best use of social networks ranking than they are this year, but it is a friendly form of competition. And I think what it tells you is that, collectively rather than individually, it's the capacity of Australian think tanks to lift the quality of public policy in Australia is enormous and growing.
We've been promoting public understanding and interest in international affairs for a very long time. One of the secrets I probably shouldn't give away today is that we would say we're not a think tank. That does not mean I'm giving back the number 4 in the region ranking, just in case anyone was thinking. But we in fact express no opinion on any issue in international affairs. It's built into our constitution. So we very much see ourselves as being a forum for debate. We do it in 4 ways. We have events around the country, about 180 events a year, to try to educate Australians on international issues and their importance. We have a range of publications, things like the Australian Journal of International Affairs, highest ranked outside North America and Europe in the global citation rankings for international affairs. We do a range of dialogues with other institutes like us around the world. So, for example, we run the Australia-Indonesia dialogue, something that's very much needed at the moment, given issues with public perceptions in both countries. And we reach out to young people. We do this through careers fairs, through young professionals programs, youth-specific publications, schools programs, and through our very successful internship program. One thing that comes through today for me is this terrible old hackneyed phrase about punching above our weight. But I think that some of the things I heard from my colleagues definitely show that that's happening. If you look at the number of think tanks, if you look at the number of think tank workers, we achieve astonishing results as a country. And that's something that I hope we can only increase in the future.